what is that authentic life and how does this all work so that I can make it happen?
Well, the concept of the authentic life, like, I think that it was born in my mind a long time ago and I didn't know it, because the way I came up with the term, and I'm not the first person to use it, like authenticity is a common word. I've seen authentic life out there, but it's the word that I want to kind of own going forward, or the phrase. But it came to me over Christmas break, between Christmas and New Year's, when we were down in Marco Island. And I've shared this on other platforms, but I was reciting these affirmations that I had going into the new year. And one of them was, I am a highly sought after paid speaker on the concept of the authentic life and the connection of spirit, the connection of spirit, mind, body, and money. And authentic life wasn't there yet. So that wasn't a part of it. And as I said that, connection of spirit, mind, body, and money, it didn't feel complete. Like it was missing something. It's like, I automatically say authentic life now because I've said it so many times. And as I was sitting there, like I wish that I could say it was like something whispered in my ear, even though I was by myself, authentic life. But it came to my mind. As soon as I thought that phrase, I was like, that's it. Connecting spirit, mind, body, money in the pursuit of the authentic life. But I think as soon as I said that, it made me think back to The Legend of Bagger Vance. And there's a scene in this movie that has Will Smith and Matt Damon, and it's the little boy who Jack Lemmon ends up being later on in life. But they're out on the golf course and they're playing the greens to learn the lay of the greens. And the little boy is out there trying to putt and he's missing all these putts. And then Will Smith goes into this, talk about how everybody has their own unique swing, their own authentic swing. And we have to get out of the way and let it find us. So he's talking to the little boy. He has him close his eyes. He's swinging the putter back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then in the midst of talking to him, Will Smith puts the ball down. And the little boy has no idea. He hits the ball and it goes in. And like that was the representation of him finding his authentic swing. He wasn't thinking about it. He had his eyes closed. He had no idea the ball was going to be there. But he got out of his own way and he allowed his swing, that's the swing for him, to find him, which led to the ball going in the hole. And I always used to take that to basketball, like my authentic shot. So I think the concept was planted in me a long time ago, and then it took all this time to manifest itself into this idea. So that's how it came to be. And I think that the authentic life is not much different than the authentic swing. It's that we all have, if you think that like everybody, we are a collective, group of humans. We're all here together. And obviously there's tribalism, all these things that come once you influence man, or man influences people. But at the end of the day, I think we're all here to work together to create a greater life. So we all have this unique place that we fit in, that we do something that nobody else can do as well as we can. So, Michael Jordan, no one can play basketball as good as him, and so forth. So we have these unique roles that we need to fit in that are authentic to us, that only we can do and nobody can do as well as we can. But I don't think very many people ever find that, because there's so much influence at a young age and on of this is what you need to do. This is the life you need to leave. You need to go to school, go to college, get married. Like there's all these influences placed on us, and that's the path we think we're supposed to go down, which may or may not lead us to our authentic life. For some people, that is their authentic life. But for others, I don't think it is. And I think that the easy way to determine what's lacking in your life and if you're living your authentic life or not is, are there things you wish you could be doing? And if so, then those things need some attention, whatever it may be, regardless of what anybody says. It could be anything. Explore those things and see, do those need to be a bigger part of your life? Maybe whatever that interest is that you wish you could do, but you don't have the time, or you don't have the money, or all the other excuses that may exist, that may be the thing that leads you to the one thing in the world that you can do better than anybody else that we need you to be doing. So the concept of the authentic life is just living life on your terms. Busting out of the box that we're put in and doing the things that you want to do that make you happiest, that make you the best, so you can be the better for everybody else. And there is that kind of fine line between being selfish and selfless that I wrote about before. And that Daily Note was saying that sometimes when you're selfless, you're actually selfish, because a lot of times when we're selfless, we put others before ourselves and neglect who we are. It could be neglecting our health, could be neglecting our mental, our mindfulness. It could be neglecting our desire to do something, but we don't do it because we want to please other people. And there's this fine line where you have to put yourself to be the best that you can be, so then you can be the best for everybody else. And the easy example is just taking care of yourself, taking an hour a day to go exercise, so you can be healthier, so you can be better, so you can be sharper. And even though your family, friends, clients, whoever it may be, may get 1 hour less of you because you've taken that time for yourself, the time that they do get is better than if they had that extra hour you took back from them. That makes sense. Yeah. They're getting more of you. They're getting a higher concentration of you in a shorter amount of time than if you were not taking care of yourself and trying to give them more of yourself. So the authentic life is just the life that you feel called to live. And we have to get out of our way to figure out what that life is. And that's where the connection of spirit, mind, body come in. And money is the last part of it, because I think that when you connect the spirit, mind, and body, and you figure out what your authentic life is, and you know what your values are, and you know what you want out of life, then money just, it fits in. It doesn't mean it's easy and you have everything that you need, but you have a better understanding of what you need from the financial part of your life, and then you can begin to plan that. But I don't think you can truly figure out where your dollars need to go and how you need to allocate and how you need to save and what money means to you until you really know what your authentic life is. And, connecting with your spirit, I think of that, that's your heart. What is your heart telling you to do? I think your heart is your connection to the spiritual world. So your heart, your intuition is often one of the best guides. So tapping into that, figuring out what way you develop that relationship. I don't think there's a right spiritual practice. So that's the thing I want with this messaging, is this connection of spirit, mind, body, and money is for everybody, regardless of religion, regardless of beliefs, like whatever your spiritual practice is. I don't think it matters. It's going to help you tap into your heart and figure out who you really are. It doesn't matter who is the main person that you're following. Mind, I think that, one of the things I've learned is taking time to become more mindful, being more aware, helps you connect with your spirit, helps you connect with your mind. And also just, when you have a clear mind, you can pick up on things a little bit more, whether they be winks from the universe or signs that pop up, or you pick up on a comment that someone says that helps give you an idea because you were more present, more aware, because your mind was more clear. And then the body part of it is we need to take care of our bodies. Like, there's a big focus on longevity. I was listening to a podcast this morning with Dr. Peter Attia and Patrick O'Shaughnessy. And Attia is one of the experts in longevity. He just had a book come out that I was not going to buy it, but after listening to the podcast, I ordered it today on Amazon. It's called Outlive. And the premise of it is trying to live longer, higher quality of life. Like, I don't want to live to be 100 and not be able to do anything. But if I can be healthy and live up to be 100, I'm all for it. But you can't do that if you're not taking care of yourself. And the way I begin to think about it is, I am doing things today for my 60, 70, 80-year-old self. Because as we get older, what the turning point for me was, as we get older, it gets harder to reverse what we're doing today. So I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm trying to reverse some of the bad habits that I had, or reverse issues that I caused by myself by not working out properly, not eating properly. I don't want to try to do that when I'm 65. Let me just take care of it now. And the cool thing about it is, what I've realized is that as I take care of my 65-year-old self, my 41-year-old self benefits from it as well. I'm in better shape. I look better. I feel better. So in the present moment, I'm benefiting from it. And I believe my future version of myself will benefit as well. And I think when you put all those things together, you're feeling better. You're more productive. You have a better understanding of who you are. You're following your passions. You're learning along the way. And then you begin to figure out what your authentic life is. And the authentic life, I believe, it's not my authentic life today is not my authentic life in the future. Just like everything in life, it evolves, we grow, we learn new things, we get more time. Because I think about today versus 15 years from now. Like, I know what I want my future life to be in 15 years. I can't have that today, because going around the world speaking about authentic living and spirit, mind, body, and money, I can't do that today because I don't want to be away from the boys. So what I'm doing is I'm living my authentic life today, which is very much centered around Ange, Roman, Leo, and Silas. My future authentic life will still obviously have a big part of Roman, Leo, and Silas, but it'll be more Ange and I, because they'll be in college and off living their own lives. And then that's the time I have to be able to go travel the world and speak and do all these things. But the cool thing is, my authentic life today is bringing me closer to that moment. It's the daily notes. It's the podcast. It's writing about this, talking about this, and building this backlog of content on this subject that one day I'm going to be going around the world speaking about, and developing my beliefs along the way. So I don't have to be that guy yet today. I get to be me authentically today and focus on the things that are most important, but knowing that these things are moving me forward towards that future. So that's why where I sit today, I feel like I have that alignment, because where I want to be in the future, I know I can see it. I kind of embody it already. And where I am today is a step along that. It's not as if where I want to be in 15 years is in a totally different area. Like I'm on that path. It'd be different if my authentic life in the future I thought was being a music producer, because that would be fun. Like what I'm doing today would not be setting me up to that. So somewhere along the way, either my authentic life today needs to change, or there's a disconnect, or that's not really where I'm supposed to be going. But I feel as if I have that alignment, and it all really came into place as I started connecting spiritually, getting mindfulness, taking care of my body, and it all fell into place. And then the money side of things, I know where my money needs to go because I know what my values are. I know what's most important. And I also have gotten to a point where, because I'm so sure of, not in an arrogant way, but I'm so sure of where I am today and what I'm supposed to be doing and that I'm there, I don't have to worry about seeking approval from other people through different things. Like a lot of times I think that money problems stem from trying to impress people by buying things you don't really want or need. So Morgan Housel says it better. It's, we spend money buying things we don't want or need to impress people we don't really care about. And there's a lot of that goes on, because if you don't know who you are and you aren't sure of that and you're not confident in it, then how do you derive your confidence? You derive it from other people. Compliments, awards, accolades, whatever it may be. So you do these things to put out this persona that may or may not be who you really are, to try to get a positive feedback from others. But when you have found that authentic life and you're living it and you're evolving with it, you already know, like, the confidence comes from within. And again, spirit, mind, and body, I believe, helps you get that confidence from within, which frees you from having to worry about external feedback. It doesn't mean you don't pay attention to what people say, but like, I don't care how many people listen to my podcast. I don't care how many people read the daily notes. Whether it's 50 or 50,000, that's not why I'm doing it. And that's very freeing because there's no pressure. I just get to create and do this thing that I really enjoy and love to do. I put it out in the world and it will be what it will be. And that's very, very freeing. And that's just one area that plays out. It's not just content, it's everything. So that's what that to me, that's when I think about authentic life. That's what it is. And I'm sure that the definition will evolve over time, because as I'm writing and reading and thinking on this, I'm picking up other little tweaks to it or changing things to it to try to get it right. And there may not be a end all be all of the authentic life, but I think the very simple thing is it's the life that you feel you're supposed to live without the influence of others. It's what just feels natural to you.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, Jay. Thanks for giving that